I'm Gordy Tupper. Welcome to Check Her Out. It's spring, pretty close anyhow. And to get you in that spring mood, we're going to look at some garden furniture. We are going to find out how to make your hair look a little bit nicer for the Easter parade. But we'll start off with Nigel and Deborah at RUFFELL & Brown. Hey, we're at RUFFELL & Brown Window Fashions, and Nigel Brown is here. Nigel, good to see you again.
How are you?
You know, this is one of those places I'm frightened to bring my wife because you have so many gorgeous-looking things and elaborate setups and all, and she wants everything, and it must be expensive, I'm thinking.
We hear that a lot, you know, but we have something for every price range and budget. Yeah. You know, there's entry-level stuff that's very, very affordable, and like everything, you can spend a lot for different options and textures and styles, and you know, but you can get into custom window coverings, blinds, and shades for very reasonable prices.
So, I mean, there's a lot of different styles. I mean, they're all around us here right now. But, well, let's break it down. I go to a big box store, I see something, I go, well, that looks workable. Can you do that type of thing too?
Well, you know, the big box stores and a lot of our competitors are, you know, we make custom products. Yeah. You know, when we order them in and we come out to your home and measure them and make sure they fit and, you know, have experienced people that know what to recommend.
Okay, now you talk about all these people. What's that going to cost me in the end? I mean,
well, nothing. No, we have to get into the home to measure the windows properly, and by doing so, we get a good idea of what the character of your home is, what kind of budget you want to spend, and we bring the samples right into the home, and start the process there. And quite often now we have a large showroom, so quite often because there's so much selection now in every kind of price range, people will come back to the showroom and have a look around and take a look at what some of the products and options that are available.
So you can kind of go skinny, or you can go. I guess fat is the other end of that. Yeah. But I mean, it's as elaborate and as much as you want to spend. It doesn't have to be outrageously expensive.
You can spend under $100 for a custom blind on a window installed. Or you can spend $1,000. And I mean, there's that much of a spread. So the selection is endless, and I think that's where you really need to get the help of an expert person in the window covering business, and we have a lot of those in our staff.
I've been seeing you on TV for years. How long have you been around Victoria now?
Deborah and I started in 1987.
Wow,
so,
really?
Yeah, so we've been around for a while.
So you have the experience, and I gather there's a few people behind you who have a lot of experience in all of this too, installation and design.
Yeah, we have a full team. We have 6 salespeople, shop-at-home decorators, and we have 4 support staff, that are in customer service and floor sales, and we have a full repair and service department as well.
Mm-hmm. So what different types of window coverings are you? What's popular these days?
Well, I think most people start with what we call hard window coverings, which are custom blinds and shades, the typical Venetians and wood blinds, and most people start there as a start, and then we quite often will add fabric treatments over top of them.
Well, you know what? I've just been told we're running out of time by our new producer back there.
Yeah.
So how about if we come back a little bit later and we could actually look at some of the blinds and window coverings?
Well, I think we'll have Deborah RUFFELL, my partner, talk to you about that.
So it shall be. Hey, we're back at RUFFELL & Brown. We're in the drapery department. Deborah, I'm not putting this up in my house.
Yeah.
I guess everybody has their own style they're looking for, but I don't know about that.
Well, that would be a pretty specific room, but that's why we've got so many sample books here to choose from.
I was just looking. I mean, we're just in one area right now, and there's hundreds of sample books, and around the corner, I guess there's thousands.
There's even more when you get into the upholstery section around the corner.
Does that cause a problem, having that much selection for buyers?
Well, for the average consumer, they're not going to want to spend hours and hours in our showroom going through books. But, our salespeople that can come out to the home and help you are pretty familiar with what we've got here. So they can zero in on, a couple of different options that they think would work well in the room in your decor.
Okay, draperies, we're into an area I know nothing about. Do these replace something like Venetian blinds, or do they complement them? How does that work?
A lot of people are doing what they call combinations of hard window covering, some sort of blind, and then side panels of draperies over top of it, just to give it a little bit more excitement and some texture and color. So we add side panels or shades. Some of the fabrics we use, are made into fabric shades so that you get the softness of the fabric rather than the wood or the aluminum slats of the blinds. So, that's a good combination too.
No, this would be both decorative and useful for covering the window.
Absolutely. It's good insulation and, has a nice effect on the windows. But if people are looking for drapery panels, we have all kinds of different options available for that. This is what we call our selector wall, so that people get an idea as to what the different pleating styles look like, how the fabrics hang, what kind of linings we use, and it just gives them a little bit more of a visual as to what the options are.
Now, I was talking with Nigel earlier about affordability. Again, everything looks like a government house in here to me. I'm thinking, well, I guess, again, it depends how much or little you want to spend.
Absolutely, and again, the consumer often thinks that just buying a ready-made, panel is the way to go because they don't understand that we have so many options. But by the time you press it and fold it and shorten it, we can make a panel that's really suitable for your room for about the same price.
Now, would this be another one of those situations where someone would come out to your house and figure out exactly?
Absolutely. We're there the whole step, every step of the way, helping you choose the fabric, measure it, make it, and hang it up for you if you need that service too.
Now, I guess, and again, from a guy's point of view, somebody who doesn't really understand window coverings at all, you not only have the fabric, the material, and style, but you also have all the hardware for hanging it up. There's a lot of choices to
There is everything from the old style wood poles to the new ones that have got crystals and plexiglass and wrought iron. There's endless options.
Okay, my wife is at home drooling right now. How would she get started in this this search for new window coverings?
Lots of times people like to come into the showroom just to have a look around and see what some of the options are. And then we're happy to come out to the home, and there's no charge for doing that, for a 1-hour consultation to give you some ideas as to what might look good and some ideas on prices. So
it is affordable right off the bat.
Absolutely. We love doing that.
RUFFELL and Brown Windows, here, Window Fashions, right here on Bridge Street.
We're just right before the Bay Street Bridge, so easy to find, free off-street parking, lots of fun.
Bingo.
There you go.
Hey, we're at Dig This in Sydney with Elizabeth Cull. Elizabeth, I feel like we're outside on the patio right now, as a matter of fact.
It's almost that nice, isn't it? Beautiful
If
day.
we had a glass of wine right here, it would seem even more like the patio.
That would certainly do it, but it's not going to happen yet.
We were in here on a previous show, and we were talking about Dig This and all the stuff you have, but garden furniture specifically. And I don't think we even hit the tip of the iceberg with what you have. A tremendous selection while we're sitting in a very comfortable spot right now. This is like a bar table and chairs.
Yes, yeah, it is. The selection of furniture that we carry is fantastic. We carry everything from dining sets like this, conventional ones, contemporary looks, big tables that families could eat at, small little tables that would fit on a balcony, through to all kinds of comfortable chairs, love seats, and sofas that you can lounge in and relax in and visit with friends and just enjoy being outside.
Well, one thing I get a sense of talking to you before is you give people advice on, what might be best for them and might not be best for them, depending on how much space they have, depending on what they're trying to do. And people need this kind of advice. And it looks like a lot of different styles here, too.
There's all kinds of styles that are available. This is the contemporary binder of furniture that we sell. And, there's everything from gorgeous loungers to all kinds of great, almost like living room furniture when you look at it. So if you have a great deck, you can put out, club chairs, sofas, love seats, tables, the whole thing. We have that both in a contemporary look and in a conventional look. So another big fat binder full of all kinds of looks that you might find suits your home better. And what we do is we work with people to find out what is it they want to do in the garden. How do they want to use the space? What is their home like? Do they have a traditional home? If they do, they probably don't want contemporary furniture. But if you've got one of the more modern, clean-lined ones, that would really work. We also make sure people people are really familiar with the fabrics and the cushions that we sell that goes on the furniture. Not all fabric is created equal. This particular fabric I've got on the top here is Sunbrella, which is a brand name of outdoor fabric that's very resistant to being damaged by weather.
Okay, that's the pattern I don't want. Okay.
That's the pattern. But
I mean, everybody's looking for something different.
There are tons and tons of choices through here. Everything from very plain colors through to stripes, some floral. There's lots to choose from. And so we work with customers. We're very familiar with the fabric. We can tell them what will stand up best to the weather conditions they have. For example, I live close to the ocean, and I have some big comfy club chairs that I have out there to hang out with my friends and family. I have that furniture outside all year long. The cushions, yes, they come in the winter, but the furniture itself stays out there, and I know how it stands up. I could bring it into the store today, and you wouldn't know that it wasn't brand new.
Really?
The cushions, probably there's been a few little misses with a glass of wine or some food, but they clean up really easily because all of the fabric has got a coating on it that repels water and soil. So, it's very easy to look after. And what I think, if you're going to have garden furniture, you don't want to spend all your time maintaining it, scraping, painting. You want it to be easy.
You want to be there with that glass of wine we talked
Exactly.
about. I have a couple of specific questions, more along the lines of quality, perhaps.
Yes.
But maybe we could come back in a minute and talk about that.
Okay.
Welcome back. We're still at Dig This, and it's a pretty nice spot to relax, I'll tell you that. A lot of very nice garden furniture. And we got to get to it here. Elizabeth, talking about garden furniture, we're talking about quality. Everything you sell here seems to be of a very high quality.
It is, because we want to make sure that the garden furniture we sell to people is going to last for many years.
Well, I know, you can go into a big box store, there's lots of them around, and you can buy these for like $49 or something and take them home, but I got a hunch it's not the same.
It's not, and you should ask some questions when you're comparing garden furniture. This garden furniture that we sell comes from a company called Ratana, and it is all on an aluminum frame. A lot of the less expensive garden furniture you'll find comes on metal frames. Metal will rust. Aluminum resists rusting. The aluminum is powder coated, which adds an extra layer of resistance to anything rusting in the frame itself. And then the resin itself is virgin resin, which means it's not made from recycled pop bottles or other kinds of plastic. It was manufactured specifically to be hand wrapped onto these frames. So you're looking at a really good quality furniture. The cushions,
bottom line, this is going to last you for a good long time. It's not going to be something you have to go to the big box store every year and get a new one.
You're not going to be tossing it into the landfill anytime
not
soon.
bad mouthing the big box stores. It's just that this is quality.
It's not that. It's what we think we're selling an environmentally friendly product here because it has some longevity to it. The cushions are another thing that you can test out quality on. All of the foam that is inside these cushions is called reticulated foam, which really means that the water will pour right through it. If you had a really heavy rain, the fabric will eventually get wet. First of all, it sheds the water, but eventually it will get wet if it's pouring out. But the water will go straight through the cushions. And at the end of the day, you just take your cushion, you stand it on its end, it will dry overnight. And that's the lovely thing about it. The
water just runs right out?
It doesn't absorb moisture, and it doesn't, you don't sit down and suddenly discover that everything is wet, because the foam itself is designed to shed the water.
You've got so much here.
We do.
I've noticed this set right here. I'm thinking for all the people that live in condos or apartments or just have a very small patio in the backyard, this is ideal, and it looks so stylish.
It is. This is part of our contemporary collection, and this is one of those chairs that is kind of multi-purpose. This is actually a dining chair, but you can also sit in it. It's incredibly comfortable just to sit and relax. You could have a seat if you like and
Thank
just
you very much.
yourself.
I thought you'd never ask.
But
I noticed even look at this, even the plates here, it's a rattan finish on the garden plates.
It is a kind of interesting motif on there that matches up with the furniture.
You have everything.
But you can see how comfortable it is. You can sit there and read.
I'm never leaving.
You're never leaving.
So it's very comfortable, contemporary style, and there's another hairstyle over in the window in the other room there.
We have some really fun furniture over here.
Well, it is. And,
This is
again, it's high quality.
This is it's just young and fun. This is probably the least expensive of all the furniture that we sell, but the colors are just so beautiful. This orange is vivid, but there's a lime green, a blue.
Wow,
there's
really?
a couple of other colors. It's just great fun and
So
very
much garden
comfortable.
furniture, and again, time is always a problem. 4 locations to dig this.
Yes.
Where are they?
Oak Bay, Broadmead Village, Sydney, where we are, and Nanaimo.
Come in, check out their line of garden furniture, and here's a tip: don't call it lawn furniture. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Bertie.
Hey, we're at Chatter's Hair and Beauty Salon. Look at this. Jane Fonda, Clute from the 60s, right? I like that. Great hairdo. We're at Chatter's at Hillside. There's 5 Chatters in Victoria, you know, and there's nothing they don't know about hair. Kevin, you know all about what the colors are for 2014, I suppose.
So I've been told, there's a lot of, we definitely see a surgence of color. New guests in the salon in January coming in, looking for that makeover, New Year's resolutions and all of those. So I think it's a big, opportunity for our stylists to do a lot of what, is current and, a little bit of a forecast for 2014 in hair color. So
just generally speaking, off the top of your head, and by the way, I love your hair on the top of your head, how often do women change the color of their hair, or men for that matter too?
Well, that's a great question. I think a lot for some people and some not so often. So maybe as regular as every 4 to 6 weeks for some of our guests.
What, really?
Absolutely.
Changing hair color? Oh.
Absolutely. Wow. So yeah, being,
You mean not all the blondes out there are really blondes?
I'll never tell. But yeah, some of the things that we are seeing for 2014 is with our haircuts seeing a lot shorter, more aggressive, edgy, Vidal Sassoon inspired haircuts. And along with that, in hair color, we're going back to a lot more of our color blocking. So, a little step in a different direction.
What is color blocking in the hair? I don't understand.
Color blocking in the hair is just a little bit more of block color. So not necessarily a full head of foils. Select pieces that are maybe accented, tone on tone with a little bit of contrast, or somebody that's a little bit edgier, a lot of contrast. So that would be your block coloring.
Sounds like you can do just about anything you want these days.
You definitely could. I'll give you a glimpse of like our book. Yep. Here's just one book. We use Redken color in all of our Chatter salons. And this is just a glimpse at, there's a lot of possibilities with these colors. So definitely, a colorist that is customizing a color for a client, it might be skin tone, it might be, their favorite color, but definitely lots of things to consider.
Now some people, I gather, talking about color blocking, you'd put some of these colors together.
Absolutely.
So what colors would go together here?
The way that this book is split up, we have our warm and our cool. So it's separated in tone, and that's something that definitely plays off of somebody's skin tone. So, someone with a warmer tone in their skin would have, a lot more fun with like warm tones in their hair color. So limited possibilities, essentially.
Really? So can do anything. And shorter hairstyles you were talking about. I noticed Pamela Anderson, I don't know if she's a good or bad example, she has a super short pixie type haircut, and it looks fabulous.
Yeah, those are great examples. We have, our guests come in and they're looking at these celebrities for their inspiration. And not to say that everybody's cutting their hair off. We do have those clients that are, holding on to their length, and we've seen that shift in color in our longer lengths as well. So some of the things that we were seeing was a lot of what we call ombre color, or ombre, exactly.
Sounds Mexican.
Yeah, actually a French term, but it's a gradation of color. So a little bit of a deeper base into a lighter end. Yeah. We're even seeing those shifts. So some of the things that you'll see is that color being placed not necessarily deep to light, but lightness that's going to hit you where the camera would naturally add that light. So if they were wearing a heavy fringe, you might have a bit of color in a shine line, or a little bit of brightness around that face, and not so much lightness on those ends. So
bottom line, folks can come into Chatters here, and you can give them a quick consultation and do pretty much anything.
Yeah, our consultations are complimentary, so you can go to any one of our locations and just go in to see what's current, and definitely we'd be happy to have people come in for consultation.
Kevin, thanks for this.
Awesome, thank you.
We're back at Chatter's Hair and Beauty Salon, and Destiny's with us. Destiny, I have a question. Do you think it's possible to curl your hair with a flat iron?
I've seen it done, but I haven't been able to do it myself.
Well, you're going to see it done right now because Kevin, standing next to you, knows exactly how to do that. I don't understand curling with a flat iron, though.
Well, I'm just going to show you. So what we're going to suggest is that you take a section with a diagonal and...
So this is something she could do herself.
Absolutely, yeah. It takes a little bit getting used to, and definitely working in the mirror, you'll see a little bit easier that way. But you're taking your section, you're going in with your iron, and almost like a ribbon over the scissors at Christmas, creating those curly cues. You're going to put your iron in, hold those ends, and just glide the iron down. And you will get the magic of a curl.
It's beautiful.
Well, no, wait a minute. How come other curling irons are rounded like that, then, for doing the same type of thing? Because that makes a lot more sense, what you did.
Well, I mean, heat is the key. And with the Kenneth Bernard iron, it has that beveled edge on it.
Are you name dropping?
I am a little bit. Yeah, exclusively at Chatter's, we sell the Kenneth Bernard brand. So this is something that you can buy and take home and use at home as well. But the key is, like I said, that beveled edge that gives you that roundness so that you get that nice, soft, modern, loose curl.
Well, wait a minute. I want to see Destiny do it herself here. You want to give it a go?
Oh, I guess so.
I'll talk you through it. You're going to hold your iron.
Okay.
And like I said, maybe we'll start with a little bit smaller.
Kind of awkward positioning here.
A little bit. So you're going to grab.
Are you left-handed?
Right-handed.
Oh.
Yeah, so this should be good.
So if you grab onto the ends of the hair.
Gotcha.
Grab onto the ends of the hair. You're going to go in and you're going to clamp. And a 180 of the iron, you're going to twist it towards you, yeah, and then holding onto those ends, you're going to glide down. And at first it won't be perfect, but that's okay. You've got a little bit of a bend there. So you're giving, yeah, a little
still a curl.
And here's the beauty of that. When you have that difference in the curl and not every single one exactly the same, it's going to be more natural on you. So that's actually a good thing. So very, very nice.
Now, is there a benefit to doing it this way rather than using the curly type?
It's just some people don't want to invest particularly in a bunch of different irons and this. So if they already have a straight iron at home, it's just saving them having to buy another curling iron. And it's it's quick, it's easy, using your sectioning clips, a little bit of a heat protectant. She can get that full lived-in second day look with her straightening iron. So.
What do you think, Destiny? You going to rush out and buy one of these?
Well, I already have one at home, but if it doesn't do the same, maybe.
Well, at least you know how to do it now.
Exactly. Just have to practice.
Chatter's Hair and Beauty Salons. There's 5 of them in Victoria, and they have a tremendous amount of information and products, just like Kevin is showing here. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thanks, Destiny.
Thank you.